Hiya, welcome to day 9 of Red January Yoga with me. I thought today we'd do a couple of classic yoga poses. If you're not that familiar with yoga, you've probably seen these ones before. Warrior 1 and Warrior 2. Brilliant for strengthening, core work, focus as well. So standing up on your mat, and we're just going to go into a wide-legged stance. Preferably socks off for this one, just so you don't go sliding around on the mat. Let's just bring our hands out the way onto our hips for now, and we're just going to get our feet positioned for Warrior 1. So we're starting out with our toes pointing forwards, and then we're going to take our left foot and point those toes towards the top of the mat. Once we've done that, we're just going to look at this back foot and just turn those toes a little bit. So if they're pointing forwards, say that's 12 o'clock, bring them round towards 1 or 2 o'clock, if it will. Not everyone's foot and hip turns like that, so don't panic too much if it won't go that far. From here, we're going to turn this right hip all the way around so we're facing over that left foot. Keep your hands on your hips for now, and then we're just going to bend and straighten this front knee. And we're going to get to a point where we're going towards a 90-degree position with this front knee. If you find that your knee's going way over your toes, just shufty your stance a bit longer. If you find that you're not getting there, it might be your stance is too long and you just need to bring it back a bit. So just find that point, bending straight in that leg until we're in a position where we're kind of 90 degrees with that front knee. Thinking again about this right hip coming forward, so we're thinking about our shoulders and our hips pointing over that left foot. Once we're here, and don't panic too much about this one because it's a lot to think about, we just want to put some weight through the outside of this back leg. It's a lot to think about all at once, don't worry too much. As long as you're vaguely in this position, if it's the first time you've done it, you're absolutely fine. So we've got our legs in Warrior 1 pose. You can keep your hands on your hips, that's absolutely fine. Or you could bring them up into a sort of cactus position. Or you can bring them overhead, either just directly up, palms facing each other, or into a kind of high prayer position. Whatever works for you. All the time thinking about bringing that right hip forwards, that left hip back. If you can, pushing some weight, maybe through that back foot, the outside of that back foot. And we're in Warrior 1. Good, so we're just going to do a couple of breaths here. You might be feeling it into your thighs already. That's good. So to get into Warrior 2 from here, what we're going to do, we'll just bring our hands out the way for now and we'll get our legs sorted. So we're going to open up this right hip and we can just straighten this back foot a little bit more now, that's fine. So we're opening up that right hip. And from here, our arms come into a horizontal position. So just check your front and your back hand are about even. And then once we're here, we're just going to send some energy through the front fingers and through the back fingers. Really stretch through those shoulders. And then it's a soft gaze over your front hand, over your left hand. And we're in Warrior 2. Lovely. So we're just going to do a couple of breaths here. Good. And then when you're ready, just bring those hands back down. Heel toe those legs in. And it might be by now they need a bit of a shake out. Good, should we try the other side? So wide stance again. Let's get our feet sorted out. So this time, left toes, bring those ones in. Right toes go all the way to the front of the mat. Good, and then this left hip wants to turn around over that right foot. Bend and straighten this front knee until you find that position where your knee's directly over your ankle, maybe a 90-degree position with your knee there. As before, if your knee's going too far over your toes, you just need a bit of a longer stance. If it's not getting there, shorten your stance a little bit. And all the time thinking about this left hip, turning round over that right foot. And then thinking about some weight going into the outside edge of this back foot. It's a lot to think about all at once, don't panic. Good. So from here we bring our arms in, so you can keep them on your hips, that's fine, or cactus position if that's better for your shoulders, or overhead, palms facing each other, or into a high prayer position. Whatever works for you. Still thinking about bringing that left hip forward, sending that right hip back. Nice and strong into those arms, nice and straight up towards the ceiling. Couple of breaths here. Good. And we're going to go straight into Warrior Two from here. So we're going to open up that left hip as our arms come down into a horizontal position. You can shufty that back foot around a little bit. And then just make sure these hands are level with each other. And then send energy through the front fingertips and the back fingertips. So we're really stretching through the arms, through the shoulders. Soft gaze over that right hand. Good. You might be feeling it in your thighs now. Couple of breaths here. Good. So we can straighten that knee. Bring those hands back down. Heel toe these feet in. Give them a shake. And that's it. Warrior One and Warrior Two.